Hi, this is Jenny Langley, author of the new Maudsley Training Manual. In this video, we're looking at exercise 5.2, which is about emotions. So we introduced a technique called ALVS, which means attend, label, validate, soothe. And it sits very neatly in with the motivational language we learned in module 4, OARS, as attending to emotions is basically a complex reflection. And also it's very easy to weave in affirmations into that complex reflection as well. So you might say, thank you for telling me how you're feeling is a really, really good affirmation. So ALVS is really, if you think of it as a subset of OARS. So what does ALVS mean? The A is attend, L is label, V is validate, S is soothe. So attending is, we're looking for signs that there's an emotion going on. So we're not going straight for the emotion. So signs might be positive or negative. It might be, oh, I can hear you singing today. You seem really happy. Or it might be, I see something's up. I noticed that you are picking the skin on your thumb. Or it might be something like, I wonder if when I say I just want you to be happy, then that's making you feel as though you're not allowed to be upset. So you're sort of looking a bit deeper. In terms of label, we're guessing the emotion. So we can only make a guess, can't we? We don't know. But you might say, you seem sad. Would you like to talk about it? And if they're not sad, they're angry, they're likely to say, no, I'm not sad, I'm angry, and I'm angry because, and then give you a whole list of reasons why they're feeling like that. And we want to label because we want to come alongside them and show that we can step into their shoes, so we can tolerate the distress of kind of feeling that emotion with them and helping them to process that and get through it. And then validate is the most important part. It's probably the most challenging, and we want to validate it to say, you know, it's okay not to be okay, it's okay to have these feelings. So you might say something like, I can understand you might be feeling sad right now because your eating disorder is restricting your options. So that use of the word because is really important. There's lots of research that says it makes the validation much more powerful. So it might be, I know you were looking forward to going on that trip and you are unable to because the consultant feels your weight's too low. That must make you feel sad, angry, frustrated, etc., etc. Or I might feel sad if I had a disappointment like that because of an illness that I didn't want to choose to have. Okay. Soothing. So how do we soothe someone who is sad? How do we soothe someone who's angry? So let's have a quick look. So in terms of sadness, very often soothing is a hug, isn't it? And then it might be a distraction with walk the dog, cuddle the puppy, watch something on TV. With anger, it's slightly different, isn't it? If you try to hug somebody who's feeling angry, they might be very likely to push you away. So maybe give them a bit of space to calm, and then when they've calmed, then you can step in and sort of say, wow, you really slammed the door, you seem angry. Fear, now there's obviously with eating disorders, there's lots of fears. So one of the biggest fears that the sufferer will talk about is that, are you going to make me fat? I'm scared you're going to make me fat. But there's also the fear that the eating disorder is going to win this battle. So there might be very high medical risk, there might be danger. So in that case, when there's high medical risk, obviously the carer needs to step in and take over. You know, society expects me to take you to hospital when I can see that you're this ill, that sort of thing. When it's anxiety, so anxiety and fear are very much interlinked, aren't they? So the fear of being fat is really just that big anxiety that the world is trying to make me fat. So can we help the loved one to face up to their fears and sort of to process what's really going on? Is it just a thought or is it actually a fact of something that's happening? And then shame, which is a very common emotion for teenagers, but also especially with eating disorders and more with bulimia than with anorexia, but shame is often a big emotion. And so soothing with unconditional love, with a hug, again with distractions can be really useful. And we're soothing because we're saying, I'm here for you, whatever happens, like a St. Bernard, you know, whatever avalanche that the eating disorder throws me, I love you unconditionally, I'm going to be here. When step 5, the learning and problem solving is required, and you can't help your loved one to learn to problem solve until they're ready, but basically when they're ready for that step, then you're basically saying, we're in it together, I'm your ally against the eating disorder and I'm here to really help you to sort through this. So it might be something like, why don't we sort out how you're going to deal with your friends talking about the school trip, or things coming up about the school trip on social media, and then why don't we plan some fun things for that day, perhaps shopping or a movie. It won't be the same. I think we can still have a nice time though. So that's when you get to step 5. But we look more at that in modules 7 and 8 in the training manual. Okay, let's have a look at a couple of simple examples. So the first one, Charlie is 7 years old and has asthma, and he's just moved school. He settles in well, but in the 3rd week he gets extremely upset at the thought of a looming 7 times table test. You know, did you ever remember the 7 times table test? It was so difficult. So you might say, Charlie, I can see you're very upset today, so attending. You seem anxious. Is it about the test? Validate. You're anxious because you're worried about the test. Lots of children are worried because it seems more scary than the previous tests. And then soothe. Right now, I'll take you to gymnastics club. Your coach told me about the amazing things you've been doing, so that would be a distraction. But there's obviously lots and lots of different ways that you could soothe Charlie, the 7-year-old. Tomorrow we can have a think about what you know already and how I can help you to learn your 7 times table test. Okay, this is a teenager having a bad day at school. So when you say, how was your day, darling? Sophia snaps at you. You're not listening, you don't understand, you don't care. She slams the door in your face and she disappears upstairs. So you wait for her to come back down, and then you can try to use ALVS. So you might say, attend, Sophia, I noticed you really slammed the door earlier. Label, guess, you seemed angry. Validate, you suggested this was because I wasn't listening, I didn't understand, and I didn't care. I would feel angry if I thought that about my mum. So you're basically just repeating back what Sophia said when she was in that rage. You're not listening, you don't care, you don't understand. And then soothe. I am listening now if you feel like talking about it. Help me understand. So it's okay to say, I don't understand, help me understand. I know I've been really busy lately, and I must admit I don't always understand your world. I love you unconditionally and would like to help you if I can. So Sophia then will feel much more that even if you don't quite understand, you're trying, you're really sort of stepping into her shoes and trying to be there to support her. Let's have another scenario with Sophie. Sophia, she's had a fight with her boyfriend. She comes home visibly distressed. And when you inquire, she screams, Jack is a pig, I never want to see him again, but what would you know? And she bursts into tears. So again, this doesn't have to be someone with an eating disorder. This could just be any teenage girl coming back from school. So attend. Sophia, thank you for telling me. I can notice, or I can see that you're crying and very distressed. So attend. Label, guess, you seem angry and sad at the same time. Validate, you're feeling this way because you have had a fight with Jack. You don't know what will happen next. So that's scary, isn't it? These are normal feelings for somebody in this position. And then soothe. Would you like a hug? So a hug is good for sadness. Or would you like some space? So calming down the anger. Or would you like a nice cup of tea or a dog walk? So some sort of distraction. Okay, so ALVS is a really, really useful technique. It shows compassion and empathy to the sufferer. It role models it's okay not to be okay. It suggests we all experience a range of emotions, and that's fine. And talking about emotions will gradually improve the sufferer's ability to notice and regulate their own emotions. So again, as I said, ALVS really fits in neatly with OARS that we learned in Module 4. And so it's a complex reflection, but you can also really easily weave in that affirmation, thank you for telling me how you're feeling. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. All of the videos and worksheets can be found at www.newmaudsleykcarers-kent.co.uk. Thank you.